Marcus Reed never believed people online when they talked about cursed links. He thought every creepy story had a simple explanation: editing tricks, hackers, tension seekers. That belief lasted until 2:11 a.m. on a freezing Thursday night. Marcus was 22, exhausted and living alone in a tiny apartment outside Chicago while finishing his final year of college. Most nights looked the same: microwave noodles, headphones on, assignments half finished, YouTube videos playing in the background. That night, rain hammered the windows hard enough to shake them. The entire apartment smelled like burnt coffee and dust from the old radiator near his desk. Marcus sat hunched over his laptop when his phone buzzed. Unknown number. No message, just a link. He almost ignored it, but underneath the link was one sentence: 0 viewers, join before he reaches your floor. Marcus frowned. He checked the time. 2:11 a.m. exactly. Probably some ARG nonsense, he muttered. He clicked it. The screen opened to a black livestream page with no title, no comments, and no username, just live video. At first, Marcus didn't understand what he was looking at. Dim hallway, flickering overhead lights, dirty beige walls. Then his stomach tightened. He recognized the hallway instantly. It was his apartment building, the exact hallway outside his unit. Marcus slowly removed one earbud. Rain continued outside. The radiator hissed quietly behind him. On the live stream, the camera faced the far end of the hallway near the elevator. Everything was still. No movement. Viewer count 0. Marcus laughed nervously. Okay, funny. Someone in the building was probably messing with residents. Maybe hidden cameras, maybe pre-recorded footage. But then the elevator light dinged. On the live stream, the elevator doors slowly opened. Marcus froze. A tall figure stepped out. The stream quality distorted heavily for a second as the person moved. Too tall, head slightly tilted, wearing something dark. The figure stood completely still. Marcus leaned closer to the screen, no faces visible, just darkness beneath a hood. Then the camera moved, not digitally, physically, as if someone was holding the phone and walking backward. The figure began following. Slowly. Marcus felt goosebumps crawl up his arms. He muted the video. The silence in his apartment suddenly felt wrong. Too quiet. Then, from outside his real apartment, he heard the elevator ding. Marcus stopped breathing. He looked toward his front door. Nothing. No footsteps, no voices. He forced himself to laugh again. Coincidence. But his voice sounded weaker now. He looked back at the stream. The camera was halfway down the hallway, closer to his apartment. The figure still followed behind it. Slow, unnatural, almost gliding. Marcus grabbed his phone and texted the number back. Who is this? No reply. Another message appeared seconds later. Don't look through the peephole. Marcus stared at the text. His chest tightened. A cold pressure settled into the room. Most people would have ignored the warning. Marcus walked straight to the door. Every instinct screamed not to. But curiosity always wins at first. He pressed his eye against the peephole. The hallway outside was empty. No camera, no hooded figure, nothing. Marcus exhaled shakily. Okay, definitely fake. Then he noticed something. On the live stream, the camera angle had changed. Now it faced directly toward his apartment door. Toward him. And in the tiny distorted reflection of the peephole, he could see himself looking out. Marcus stumbled backward so fast he nearly dropped his phone. The stream was live, actually live. A new message arrived instantly. I told you not to look. The lights in his apartment flickered. Once, twice, then stabilized. Marcus grabbed a kitchen knife without even thinking. Rain slammed harder against the windows now. His breathing became shallow. The live stream continued moving. Closer, closer, closer. The camera finally stopped directly outside his apartment. The hooded figure stood only a few feet behind it. Marcus could barely breathe now. The figure seemed impossibly tall in the narrow hallway. Its arms hung too low. Its head twitched slightly every few seconds, like corrupted video frames. Viewer count. 1. Marcus realized the stream now counted him watching. Then the figure slowly raised one hand and knocked on his door. 3 soft taps. At the exact same moment, 3 knocks echoed through the real apartment. Marcus nearly screamed. He backed away so quickly he crashed into the kitchen counter. Another message appeared. Why aren't you opening it? Marcus called 911. No signal. His phone displayed. Call failed. The Wi-Fi icon disappeared next. Only the live stream still worked. The figure moved closer to the camera. Marcus finally saw part of its face, or what should have been a face. Skin stretched unnaturally tight, dark hollow eyes, a grin too wide for a human mouth. The stream glitched violently. For half a second, Marcus saw another image hidden between the frames. Not the hallway. His bedroom, filmed from inside. He spun around instantly. Nothing there. When he looked back at the laptop screen, the live stream had ended. Black screen. No replay. No username. Nothing. Marcus stood frozen in silence. Then came a final notification. Check under the bed. His entire body locked up. The apartment suddenly felt smaller, heavy, like someone else was breathing nearby. Marcus stared at the dark hallway leading to his bedroom. Every survival instinct told him not to move. But then, very softly, from inside the bedroom, he heard his own voice whisper, "Marcus?" A second later, something underneath the bed laughed. Emily Harper was halfway through deleting old photos when the friend request appeared. The profile picture made her blood run cold instantly. Lena Morales, same dark hair, same crooked smile, same silver necklace she always wore in high school. Except Lena had been missing for 8 years. Officially missing. No body ever found. Emily stared at the screen in disbelief. The request had no mutual friends, no recent posts, only one message attached. "Do you remember the woods?" Outside her apartment in Seattle, thunder rolled across the sky. Emily's stomach twisted. She almost blocked the account immediately. But curiosity is dangerous when guilt is involved, and Emily carried guilt every single day. Back in high school, there were 4 of them. Emily, Lena, Sarah, Noah. One summer night, they'd gone drinking near the abandoned trails outside town. Something happened there, something none of them ever talked about afterward. Lena vanished 2 days later. Police questioned everyone for months. Nothing ever stuck. Eventually, the case faded into another unsolved mystery, but Emily never forgot the final thing Lena said that night. "Something followed us out of those woods." Emily accepted the friend request. Instantly, a message arrived. "I found the pictures." Emily frowned. "What pictures?" 3 dots appeared, then stopped. Another message came through. "The ones from that night." Emily's hands began shaking. She opened the profile, still empty. No friends, no posts, no history, except for one newly uploaded photo. Emily clicked it. Her breath caught instantly. It was her apartment building, taken from across the street. Rainwater blurred parts of the image, but her window was clearly visible. The timestamp showed, taken 11 minutes ago. Emily rushed to the window. The street below looked empty. Cars passed through the rain. No pedestrians, no one standing outside. Her phone buzzed again. "You still look outside first when you're scared." Emily stepped away from the glass immediately. "Who is this?" she typed. No answer. Then another photo uploaded, this one closer, taken from the parking lot directly beneath her apartment. Her illuminated kitchen window glowed in the darkness. Emily locked her phone and backed away slowly. Her chest tightened painfully. Someone was watching her. Maybe a stalker using Lena's identity. Maybe someone from high school trying to scare her. But deep down, Emily already knew this felt wrong. She opened her contacts and called Sarah. No answer. She tried Noah, straight to voicemail. Then her phone rang. Unknown number. Emily hesitated before answering. Static. Heavy breathing. Then a girl's voice whispered, "Don't let him see you near the windows." The call disconnected. Emily's entire body went cold. That voice sounded exactly like Lena. Not similar. Exact. Emily locked every door in the apartment. Rain hammered the glass harder now. The lights flickered softly overhead. Another notification appeared. New photo uploaded. Emily forced herself to look. This time the image showed her apartment hallway, right outside her door. The photo was blurry, tilted slightly sideways. At first she only noticed the hallway. Then she saw it. At the very end near the stairwell, a tall shadow standing motionless, not human, too thin, too tall, arms hanging unnaturally low. Emily's heartbeat pounded in her ears. A message appeared beneath the image. "He came back with us." Emily immediately typed, "Stop this! Seen." 3 dots appeared again. Then, "You left me there." Emily froze. Memories flooded back instantly. That night in the woods, the screaming, running through trees, Lena falling behind. Sarah yelling, "Don't go back." Emily had spent years convincing herself they were scared teenagers imagining things in the dark. But some part of her always remembered hearing footsteps behind them. Not footsteps. Something dragging itself between the trees. Another image uploaded. Emily nearly dropped the phone. It was an old photo from high school. The four friends standing near the forest trail entrance. But now she noticed something hidden in the background. A pale face between the trees, watching them. Emily zoomed in. The image distorted heavily. The face smiled. Her apartment lights shut off instantly. Darkness swallowed the room. Emily gasped. Only her phone screen illuminated the apartment now. Then, a loud knock hit the front door. Emily screamed, 3 slow knocks. Exactly 3. Her phone buzzed again. Don't answer it. Another knock. Louder this time. Emily backed into the kitchen, trembling violently. Then came scratching. Slow scratching from the other side of the door. Like fingernails dragging across wood. Her phone rang again. Unknown number. Emily answered immediately. This time, Lena sounded terrified. Emily, it knows where you live now. What knows? You were never supposed to open the request. A deep sound interrupted the call. Not static, breathing, huge, wet, animalistic. Then Lena whispered one final sentence. It's behind the door. The call ended. Silence. Emily stared at the entrance. The scratching stopped. For a moment, everything became completely still. Then her phone received one final uploaded photo. Emily opened it slowly. The image showed her standing in her dark kitchen, taken from inside the apartment behind her, and in the darkness only inches from the back of her head. A tall, smiling figure stared directly into the camera. Daniel Carter had been unemployed for 4 months when the email arrived. At first it looked like spam. Subject line, remote position, immediate hire. 12,000 week. Daniel almost deleted it, but desperation changes people. Especially at 1:43 a.m., when overdue bills cover your kitchen table, and your landlord has already threatened eviction twice. Daniel lived alone in a cramped apartment outside Philadelphia, surviving on instant noodles and borrowed money while sending out resumes. Nobody answered. So he clicked the link. The webpage was strangely simple. Black background, white text. Congratulations, Daniel. You have already been selected. Below the message sat a single button. Begin interview. Daniel frowned. How was I selected if I never applied? Still, he clicked it. The webcam on his laptop activated instantly. A loading icon spun for several seconds before revealing a man sitting in a dark office. At least. Daniel thought it was a man. The figure wore a black suit and tie, hands folded neatly on a desk beneath dim lighting. But something about the face looked slightly wrong. Too pale. Too still. Like a human expression copied imperfectly. Good evening, Daniel, the interviewer said calmly. His voice sounded distorted. Mechanical. Daniel forced a polite smile. Hi. Thank you for your interest in our company. I didn't actually apply. You've been searching for employment since January 12th. Daniel stopped talking. The interviewer continued. You currently owe $4,283 in unpaid rent. Daniel's stomach tightened. How do you know that? The interviewer ignored the question. Your mother called yesterday at 8:14 p.m. You didn't answer. Daniel stared silently now. Cold unease spread through his chest. Maybe this was some advanced scam. Data leaks. Social engineering. That had to be it. The interviewer smiled slightly. We value candidates who remain calm under pressure. Daniel glanced toward the browser tab. No company name, no logo, no exit button, only the interview window. Who are you people? Daniel asked. The interviewer tilted his head slowly. We observe behavior. A loud creak suddenly echoed from somewhere inside Daniel's apartment. He turned instinctively toward the hallway. Nothing there. When he looked back at the screen, the interviewer was smiling wider now. You should oil your bathroom door hinges. Daniel froze. His bathroom door had creaked open moments earlier. Nobody else should heard that. You hacked my microphone? No, Daniel. The interviewer leaned slightly closer to the camera. We're inside already. Daniel immediately slammed his laptop shut. Silence filled the apartment. His breathing became uneven. After several seconds, he laughed nervously to himself. Okay, enough. Probably hackers messing with webcam access. He reopened the laptop. The interview resumed instantly, as if nothing happened. The interviewer's smile vanished. Please do not interrupt the evaluation again. Daniel's pulse quickened. I'm done with this. You need this job. Daniel hesitated, because the voice was right. He needed money desperately. The interviewer continued. Complete tonight's interview successfully, and your bank account balance will change before sunrise. Daniel swallowed hard. What kind of job is this? Observation. That's not an answer. The interviewer ignored him again. Question 1. How long have you lived alone? Daniel stared. What does that have to do with employment? Everything. Another noise echoed through the apartment, this time from the kitchen. A soft metallic clink, like a spoon falling into a sink. Daniel slowly looked behind him. Dark kitchen, empty. The interviewer watched him carefully. You keep looking away, he said. Daniel stood up. I'm checking my apartment. That won't help. Daniel grabbed a baseball bat near the couch and walked toward the kitchen. Nothing there. Sink empty. Windows locked. But the apartment suddenly felt different. Occupied. He returned slowly to the laptop. The interviewer nodded approvingly. Fear response confirmed. Daniel's hands trembled now. What do you want? We already told you. We observe. Another notification appeared on screen. Camera access granted. Daniel frowned. Then his blood turned to ice. A second video feed opened beside the interview window. Security camera angle. Showing Daniel sitting at his desk from behind, filmed from inside his own apartment. Daniel whipped around instantly. No camera, no person, nothing. You installed cameras here, he whispered. The interviewer smiled again. No, Daniel. That room simply has more viewers than you realize. The secondary feed continued moving slightly, as if someone was physically holding the camera. Daniel watched in horror as the hidden viewpoint slowly approached him from behind. Step by step. The interviewer spoke softly. Question 2. Do you believe people notice danger too late? Daniel backed away from the desk. The camera feed kept advancing. Closer, closer. Then, on the live hidden camera footage, a pale hand suddenly reached into frame behind Daniel's chair. Daniel spun around, swinging the bat wildly. Nothing there. But when he looked back at the laptop, the interviewer was gone. Only text remained on screen. Final question. Would you like to see who has been living with you? Below it sat 2 buttons. Yes. No, Daniel stared at them in silence. Then, from somewhere inside the apartment, a voice whispered softly, Choose yes, right beside his ear. The video first appeared in a group chat at exactly 11:56 p.m. No caption, no explanation, just a link and 1 sentence. Don't watch the last 10 seconds. At first, everyone in the senior class thought it was another stupid internet challenge. A creepy clip made to go viral. The sender's account belonged to a quiet student named Tyler Boone. But Tyler hadn't been at school for 3 days. Nobody knew why. Inside his bedroom in Portland, 17-year-old Evan Miller stared at the message while gaming with headphones on. The group chat exploded instantly. Fake, our garbage. Someone watch it. No way. Then people started leaving the chat one by one. Not typing, leaving. Evan clicked on Tyler's profile offline. No posts, no replies. Nothing recent except the link. Curiosity won fast. It always does. Evan opened the video. At first it looked harmless. A shaky phone recording inside a dark subway tunnel. Poor quality, heavy static. No music. The person filming walked slowly through the tunnel while breathing heavily. That was it, for almost 4 minutes. No jump scares, no monsters, nothing. Evan rolled his eyes.
Seriously?
Then the video reached the final minute. The camera stopped moving. At the far end of the tunnel stood a person facing the wall, completely motionless, tall, wearing dark clothes. The person slowly turned around. The face was blurred beyond recognition. Static intensified violently. Words suddenly flashed across the screen. Don't look away, Evan frowned. The figure began walking toward the camera unnaturally fast. Not running, sliding. The final countdown appeared in the corner. 10:98. Evan leaned closer. The figure moved faster every second. 6:54. The face remained distorted. But something about the proportions felt horribly wrong. 3:2. The video ended. Black screen. Evan removed his headphones. Silence filled the room. He laughed quietly. That's it. His phone buzzed immediately. New messages flooded the group chat. Yo, what the hell? Did you finish it? Tyler's account disappeared. Guys stopped joking. Then one message appeared from a girl named Rebecca. I saw someone behind me. Nobody replied after that. Evan typed, This is fake as hell. Seen. No responses. Outside, rain tapped softly against his bedroom window. The house was silent except for his younger brother playing videos downstairs. Then Evan noticed something strange. His webcam light was on, tiny green dot glowing above the monitor. He frowned. He wasn't using the camera. Evan opened camera settings. The webcam suddenly shut off by itself. Weird. Then his monitor flickered. Just once. For half a second, he saw his own room on screen, live camera footage, but something stood behind his chair. Evan spun around instantly. Nothing there. His heart started beating faster now. Another message appeared in the group chat. From Tyler. Except the profile picture was gone. Only a blank grey icon remained. The message read, "You watched until the end." Evan typed immediately, "Tyler, where are you?" "Seen." 3 dots appeared, then stopped. His bedroom lights flickered softly overhead. A second message appeared, "Check reflections." Evan stared at the screen. A cold feeling crawled slowly through his stomach. Then he noticed movement beside him. Not in the room. In the dark TV screen across from his bed, a reflection. Someone standing directly behind him, tall, motionless. Evan turned around violently. Nothing. His breathing became shaky. The reflection in the TV was empty now. His phone rang suddenly. Unknown number. Evan answered quickly. Static. Then whispering. Multiple voices layered together. Don't let it near your face. The call disconnected. Downstairs, his little brother screamed. Evan jumped up immediately. Josh! No answer. He ran into the hallway. The entire house was dark except for flickering light from downstairs. Josh! Slowly, Evan walked toward the living room. The television downstairs glowed bright white. Static filled the room loudly. Josh sat frozen on the couch staring at the screen. Josh! No response. Evan grabbed his shoulder. Josh pointed silently toward the TV. Evan looked. The subway tunnel video played again by itself. But this time, the figure had reached the camera. Its blurred face filled the screen completely. And behind the distortion, Evan recognized Tyler Boone screaming. The screen suddenly glitched, then switched to live footage, their living room, filmed from the hallway behind them. Evan slowly turned around. The hallway was empty, but on the TV feed, something tall stood inches behind both brothers. Smiling, Josh whispered without blinking. It came out at the end. Ryan Cole had been gaming for almost 7 straight hours when the notification appeared. System update required. He barely looked at it. At 2:37 a.m., exhausted and half-focused on his online match, he clicked the link automatically. Big mistake. The download finished instantly. Too instantly. Then every monitor in his apartment went black. Seriously? Ryan muttered. A loading symbol spun across the center screen. The room around him glowed faint blue from the monitors. Empty soda cans covered the desk beside tangled wires and old takeout boxes. Outside his apartment in Denver, snow drifted silently past the windows. Ryan tapped his keyboard. Nothing. Then the webcam light switched on. Tiny green dot, his stomach tightened slightly. Okay, weird. The screen flickered. A message appeared. Camera access enabled below it sat a single live webcam feed. Ryan stared at himself sitting at the desk. Behind him, dark apartment. Kitchen hallway. Bedroom door. Normal. Then movement appeared in the feed. Something crossed the hallway behind him. Fast. Ryan turned instantly. Nothing there. He looked back at the monitor. The hallway in the webcam feed was empty again. A chill spread through his arms. Probably lag. Video glitch. That's what he told himself. Another message appeared. Don't turn around next time. Ryan's heartbeat slowed for a second, then sped up twice as hard. Who the hell is this? No answer. Instead, the webcam feed zoomed in slightly. Not digitally, physically, as if someone was holding the camera closer to him. Ryan unplugged the webcam immediately. The green light remained on. His breathing stopped. He pulled the cord completely from the PC tower, still on. Then the feed updated. The image quality became clearer, sharper. Ryan slowly realized something horrifying. The angle had changed. The camera was no longer coming from his monitor webcam. It now filmed him from somewhere near the kitchen ceiling. Ryan stood up slowly. Every instinct screamed at him to leave the apartment, but fear rooted him in place. The screen displayed another message. You live alone, correct? Ryan grabbed his phone. No signal. Wi-Fi disconnected. Even the Bluetooth symbol vanished. Snow tapped softly against the windows. The apartment suddenly felt painfully silent. Then came a sound from the hallway, a soft footstep. Ryan stared into the darkness beyond the kitchen, nothing visible. The monitor beeped again. A second camera feed opened. This one showed his bedroom. Empty bed, closet slightly open. Then the closet door moved, very slowly. Creak. Ryan backed away from the desk. Nope. The closet opened wider on screen, darkness inside. Then a pale face slowly leaned out. Ryan nearly screamed. The thing in the closet had no eyes, just smooth pale skin stretched across empty sockets. Its mouth hung open unnaturally wide. The feed glitched violently. When the image stabilized, the closet was empty again. Ryan grabbed his coat and headed for the apartment door. Locked. He twisted harder. Wouldn't move. Another message appeared. Interview in progress. Please remain inside. What interview? The monitors suddenly switched camera angles again. Now they displayed Ryan standing near the front door, filmed from directly behind him. Ryan turned around instantly. Nothing there. But the camera perspective kept moving closer. Step, 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 like someone approaching him silently. Ryan's breathing became frantic. Then he noticed something worse. In the live feed, a dark figure stood at the end of the kitchen hallway. Too tall, its head nearly touched the ceiling. Long arms dangling motionless. Ryan slowly looked toward the actual hallway. Empty. Back to the monitor, the figure was closer now, much closer. The message beneath the feed changed. He doesn't like being ignored. Every light in the apartment shut off instantly. Darkness swallowed everything, Ryan gasped. Only the monitors remained glowing in the room. The camera feed now showed him standing alone in total darkness. Except, he wasn't alone anymore. The tall figure stood directly behind him. Ryan felt cold air touch the back of his neck. Slowly, very slowly. A second voice whispered beside his ear. Don't look at the screen. Ryan looked anyway, and saw the figure smiling inches from his face in the live feed. Then the webcam light finally turned red. Ethan Graves built his entire career around true crime, missing persons, cold cases, internet mysteries. His podcast had millions of listeners because he covered stories nobody else would touch. That obsession is what destroyed him. It started with an anonymous email sent at 3:08 a.m. No subject line, no sender name, just one sentence. You talk about monsters. Want to watch one feed itself? Below the message sat a link. Ethan should have deleted it immediately. Instead, sitting alone inside his studio apartment in Boston, surrounded by recording equipment and empty coffee cups, he clicked it. The page loaded slowly. Black screen. No logos. No text. Then a countdown timer appeared. Live auction begins in 0124. A chat box opened beside the timer. Thousands of users online. No usernames. Only numbers. Messages flooded rapidly. How many tonight? Hope they bring the doctor back. Bidding starts at 50K. Ethan frowned. What the hell is this? The timer hit 0. The live stream began instantly. A dim concrete room appeared on screen. Industrial walls, single hanging light, rust stains across the floor. In the center sat a terrified woman tied to a metal chair. A black hood covered part of her face. She was crying. Ethan's pulse quickened immediately. At first, he assumed it was fake. Some sick roleplay stream. Then, the woman looked directly into the camera and screamed, "Please help me!" Real fear, not acting. A masked figure stepped into frame wearing black gloves and a featureless white mask. The chat exploded instantly. Bidding round 1A menu appeared beneath the stream. Option A. Remove one finger. Option B. Waterboard for 60 seconds. Live bids started climbing rapidly. $12,000, $19,000, $31,000. Ethan's stomach twisted violently. No way. He grabbed his phone to call police. No signal. The browser suddenly expanded to full screen by itself. Exit disabled. Ethan slammed the keyboard repeatedly. Nothing worked. The masked figure waited silently while bids climbed higher. Finally, the timer ended. Winning choice. Option B. The woman started screaming hysterically. 2 more masked people entered the room carrying equipment. Ethan shoved his chair backward. This can't be real. But then he recognized the victim. His blood turned to ice. 3 weeks earlier, he'd covered the disappearance of a medical student named Claire Bennett. Police still considered her missing. And now she was here, live. The stream continued. The chat celebrated while Claire begged for help. Some viewers tipped massive amounts of money. Others requested specific punishments. Ethan felt sick. Then a private message appeared on screen. "Welcome, Ethan Graves." He froze. Another message followed. "We love your show." Ethan typed immediately. "Who are you people?" Seen instantly. "Then you watch." "Just like everyone else." "I'm recording this," Ethan typed. The response came seconds later. "So are we." A second video feed suddenly opened beside the auction stream. Ethan nearly fell out of his chair. The new feed showed his apartment, Liv, filmed from somewhere near the ceiling corner behind him. He slowly turned around. Nothing there. Back on the screen, the hidden camera feed kept moving slightly, as if someone held it. The chat box exploded again. "New player. He looks terrified. Is he tonight's bonus round?" Ethan's breathing became uneven. The masked host stepped closer to the camera on the main stream, then pointed directly outward, at Ethan. A distorted voice echoed through the speakers. "You profit from fear too." The live stream chat started voting again. New poll: should Ethan join the auction? Yes, no votes climbed insanely fast. Yes, dominated instantly. Ethan unplugged his computer. The screen stayed on. Static hiss filled the apartment, then another sound emerged underneath it. Footsteps. From the hallway outside his apartment. Slow, heavy, measured. The hidden camera feed zoomed tighter onto Ethan's face. The chat loved it. "Look at him sweat. He knows. Turn around." Then Ethan noticed something horrifying in the apartment feed. Behind his chair, a masked figure stood silently in the darkness. Ethan spun around instantly. Empty room. Back to the screen. The figure was still there. Closer now. The masked host spoke again. "Observation phase complete." A loud knock echoed through Ethan's apartment door. 3 knocks. The livestream audience count suddenly increased by thousands. The chat flooded faster than before. "Open it. Let us see." He should never clicked. Another knock hit the door harder. Then Ethan's smart speaker activated by itself. A calm, automated voice filled the apartment. "Delivery has arrived." The final message appeared across every screen simultaneously. "Tonight's special guest." Ethan Graves, then someone outside the apartment, laughed quietly through the door. Michael Turner deleted the email 3 times before finally opening it. Each time it came back. Same sender, same subject line. "We know what you did last winter." At first, Michael assumed it was spam, maybe phishing. But at 12:48 a.m., sitting alone inside his quiet suburban house in Atlanta after too many drinks and another argument with his ex-wife, curiosity finally won. He clicked the link. The webpage loaded instantly. White background, black text, no logo, no ads, no explanation, just one sentence. "Hello, Michael." His chest tightened slightly. Below the greeting sat a loading bar labeled "Importing Search History." Michael frowned. "What?" The bar reached 100%. Then lines of text began appearing one by one. Every private search he'd made during the past year. Banking passwords, deleted emails, late-night searches he'd never told anyone about. Michael's face drained of color. How the hell? He slammed the laptop shut. A second later, the laptop reopened by itself. Screen glowing brighter now. Another sentence appeared. "Don't be rude." Michael backed away slowly. His house suddenly felt too quiet. Only the ticking kitchen clock echoed faintly through the darkness. Then the website updated again. New import. Security footage, a video file appeared. Timestamp. Liv. Michael stared at it, then clicked play. The footage showed his living room. Current angle. Current lighting. Liv feed. Michael looked around immediately. No cameras. No blinking lights. Nothing unusual. But on the video, someone stood in the hallway outside the living room. Tall, motionless, watching him. Michael spun toward the real hallway. Empty. Back to the screen. The figure remained there. A new message appeared beneath the feed. "She never believed your story." Michael's stomach dropped. His ex-wife, Dana, had accused him for years of hiding something from the winter before their divorce. Something involving a car accident on an icy road late at night. Michael always denied it, but he'd never told police the full truth. Because when he hit the woman on that road, she was still alive afterward, and Michael drove away. The website loaded another file automatically. Dashcam footage. Michael nearly collapsed. The video showed his car speeding through snow-covered roads last December. The impact replayed clearly. A woman stumbling into headlights. The sickening hit. Michael whispered, "No!" Then came the worst part. The footage continued past the crash, showing Michael stepping out of the car. looking directly at the injured woman, breathing weakly in the snow, then driving away. Michael shut the laptop again violently. His hands trembled uncontrollably now. That's impossible. Police never found dashcam footage, because Michael destroyed the camera himself. A loud notification echoed from upstairs. His home security system activated automatically. Motion detected. Master bedroom. Michael stared upward slowly. He lived alone. Another alert. Motion detected. Upstairs hallway, then another. Motion detected. Stairs, step, step, step. The website reopened itself again. New text appeared. She wants to know why you left her. Michael grabbed a kitchen knife. Every light in the house dimmed slightly. The live security feed switched angles, now showing the staircase. At the top stood the same tall figure from earlier. Its body looked almost human. Almost. Arms too long. Neck tilted unnaturally sideways. Michael stared at the real staircase, empty. But on screen, the figure began descending slowly. One step at a time, the website chat box suddenly opened. Only one message inside. Confession reduces suffering. Michael typed frantically, "Who are you?" The response appeared instantly. Passenger. The lights flickered violently. The staircase feed glitched. For half a second, Michael saw something else, not the figure. The dead woman from the road. Standing behind him in the living room, Michael turned instantly. Nothing there. Then he heard breathing, soft, wet, close, right behind his neck. He swung the knife wildly into empty air. The laptop speakers crackled. A distorted female voice whispered, "You looked back at me before you left." Michael stumbled backward. The live feed changed again, now showing the living room from above. Michael stood alone near the couch. Except, in the camera feed, muddy footprints stretched across the carpet toward him, fresh footprints, appearing one by one, as if someone invisible walked closer every second. Michael's breathing became frantic. The website displayed one final line. Search history deleted successfully. Then every screen in the house went black simultaneously. And from the darkness upstairs, a woman's voice softly asked, "Why didn't you help me?" Night shifts always felt longer inside the Hollow Creek corporate center, especially after midnight. The 20-floor office building in downtown Houston stayed almost completely empty overnight, except for one security guard watching cameras nobody else cared about. That guard was Victor Hale, 43 years old, divorced, sleep-deprived. Most nights were painfully boring. Until 3:13 a.m., Victor sat alone in the dim security office, sipping burnt coffee when his work computer pinged with a new message. Unknown sender. No subject line, only one sentence. "If you ignore this link, you survive." Victor stared at it for several seconds, then laughed quietly. Great, another creep. He should have deleted it. Instead, he clicked the link immediately. The page loaded onto a black screen. A countdown timer appeared, 59:59, 1 hour. Beneath the timer sat a live feed of the building's security cameras. At first, everything looked normal. Lobby empty. Hallways dark. Elevators still. Then Victor noticed something strange. Camera 14, 19th floor. A person stood motionless near the elevators. Tall, completely black silhouette. Victor frowned. Nobody should have been upstairs. He grabbed the radio. Building check. "Anyone on 19? Static answered. The figure on camera 14 slowly tilted its head toward the camera. Victor's pulse quickened slightly. Then the timer dropped to 58:42. A message appeared beneath the cameras. "It starts when you notice them." Victor immediately switched to another camera angle. The 19th floor hallway was empty now. No figure. He checked the timestamp. Live feed. Then camera 3 flickered. Parking garage level. The same silhouette stood between concrete pillars. Closer to the camera this time. Victor leaned forward. The shape looked wrong. Too tall. Limbs too long. Its arms nearly reached the floor. Another message appeared. "Don't let them reach the office." Victor grabbed the building phone and called police dispatch. Dead line. No dial tone. The computer speakers crackled softly, then came whispering. Multiple voices layered together. "Watch the elevators." Victor looked toward the elevator security feed. All elevators remained stationary. Then elevator 2 began moving upward by itself. Floor 3, 4, 5. No access request, no card swipe. Victor's breathing slowed. Someone had to be inside. But when the elevator camera activated, it was empty. The timer continued counting down. 5411. Victor unlocked the desk drawer and pulled out the revolver security kept for emergencies. His hands trembled slightly now. The building suddenly felt enormous and very occupied. Camera 9 flickered violently. 12th floor. The silhouette now stood directly outside a conference room. Closer again. Victor switched cameras rapidly. Every floor feed now showed movement. Shadows crossing hallways. Tall figures standing at corners. Shapes appearing for single frames before vanishing. The message updated again. They move when unobserved. Victor forced himself to stay calm. Okay. He kept cycling through cameras desperately. Every time he returned to one feed, the figures were closer to the elevators, closer to the security office downstairs. Then the power flickered. For one horrifying second, every monitor shut off. When they returned, all cameras displayed the same thing. The security office. Live feed. Victor sitting alone at the desk. Except in every angle, something stood behind him. Victor turned around instantly. Empty room. Back to the monitors. The figures remained there, dozens of them now. Tall, smiling, watching him silently. The timer dropped to 49:59. The computer suddenly played another video feed automatically. This one showed the building lobby. The front doors slowly opened. Rain poured outside into the empty street. And from the darkness beyond the doors, one final figure stepped inside. This one was different, bigger, its head bent unnaturally against the ceiling. Victor's radio exploded with static. Then a voice whispered clearly, "You invited us." The elevators immediately began descending. Floor 19, 18, 17, all of them, every elevator, coming down together. Victor backed away from the monitors. The building lights dimmed floor by floor above him. 18th floor dark, 17th floor dark, 16th floor dark. Like something was shutting the building down as it descended. The elevator feeds remained empty. But the motion sensors inside each elevator kept triggering, as if crowded with invisible passengers. Victor's breathing became frantic. The countdown timer suddenly disappeared, replaced by a final message. "Look under the desk." Victor froze. Slowly, very slowly, he looked downward beneath the security desk. A pale, smiling face stared back at him from the darkness, and every elevator in the building dinged at once.